Fans of Caitlin Clark have been complaining about the egregious officiating. There is no denying that Caitlin has received her fair share of criticism. Once Caitlin Clark disclosed her injury status, the WNBA, the Players Association, and the team owners should take note. The referees failed to manage that line, and players will then cross it. All of this fanfare, interest, newly discovered attention on the league can vanish in an instant. The WNBA felt that ticket prices plummeted, and fans began to leave, and ratings suffered a severe blow due to the groin injury. The public now knows that star Caitlin Clark will not be playing for the Indiana Fever. But we know that she brings more than just sidling. Clark is undermining the league's momentum. When the tide rises, all boats jump on it and rise, and fans are done. They're canceling plans, boycotting games, and making it clear that they have no interest in Caitlin Clark. If you're a 100% supporter of Caitlin Clark, please leave a comment below and let the world know. "I feel good," she said, "but I'm going to be day-to-day from now on out on the court." The league obviously doesn't understand that she is special. This is the moment when Caitlin Clark is the WNBA's star player and the revolution in women's sports. She is the most popular woman in the WNBA. On the surface, that may sound hopeful. But to fans who are paying attention, it's a warning sign. Caitlin Clark suffered 2 separate injuries in her quadriceps, but they were likely caused by a causal relationship. This isn't just about missing a game or two. It's about an elite athlete overcoming back-to-back injuries. Caitlin Clark was sidelined with a groin injury once again while carrying the weight of an entire league on her back. She entered the league last year without taking any breaks between a college game and a professional game, and she acknowledged it herself. "I don't know if I'll be 100% for the rest of the season," she said. That wasn't a casual remark. "I'm just curious if she's playing through a little more pain than she should have," but it was an honest moment from a player who is obviously struggling with not healing. I'm beginning to wonder if Caitlin Clark is having confidence issues due to reports that she has had her quad taped up during the Connecticut Sun game and that she has both her thigh and groin heavily taped, acknowledged that she was experiencing pain during the Sun and Liberty games. She then had an MRI and was diagnosed with a strain. Some believe she made it worse by being substituted back in during a blowout, which shouldn't have happened at all. Even WNBA legends like Sue Bird are worried about this. Bird noted how Caitlin's forced to create almost all with more games this season. Caitlin Clark's shots alone, no backup playmaker, and constant pressure are unsustainable, especially when she's putting in a lot of minutes on a tight schedule. In addition, she frequently faces physical and verbal abuse from envious WNBA players, as well as constant full-court defenses and free-fall play. Officiating, and you have a recipe for exactly what's happening now: injury after injury and no protection from the league. The truth is that Caitlin Clark has been overworked and underprotected since day one, right? And now the cracks are showing. But the system seems designed to take everything away from her as fast as possible. The Commissioner's Cup All-Star promos, Nike deals, national broadcasts, and the league enjoying her momentum while ignoring the cost which is catching up are cruel. Clark isn't just sore, she's worn down, and her teammates see it. She's put on every night to perform at the level that she does. The WNBA has yet to take action regarding Caitlin Clark's 5 assists and 5 rebounds in a playoff game. This is concerning because it's not just about one player's injury anymore. It's about the league's future, depending on a player who is struggling. Can the WNBA continue to exist while CC or Caitlin Clark is out? Clark was the WNBA's Rookie of the Year this season. She averaged 19 points in a league-leading 9 and was selected to the first team of the WNBA when it became clear that Caitlin Clark would miss games due to injury. The supporters' response was not one of bewilderment or disappointment, but rather rejection. And a mass exodus started very immediately, in as soon as it was revealed that Caitlin Clark would not be playing in Thursday night's game against the LA Sparkles. Ticket prices in Dallas began to plummet. The suspense alone caused ticket prices in Chicago, where Clark was also ruled out, to drop as low as $3. Overnight, the average ticket price in Dallas was around $200. Some people were giving them away for free. Others were trading them in for barely used merchandise, and I heard that some of the tickets were being traded for Vietnamese dongs. Prices were circulating, and the poorer tickets were selling for as little as $3. If Kane Clark had been in the lineup, those sellouts wouldn't be happening anymore. Media said, "I'm done. I'm not going if she's not playing, period." The weekend. Plans fell apart, and hotels and bars close to stadiums started to report cancellations. One venue manager in Indianapolis even claimed they had lost the Fever Game rush because the road show had been canceled without Caitlin Clark. On platforms like YouTube and Twitter X, thousands of viewers shared the same sentiment. "I'll be back." When Caitlin's back, this is not a one-time complaint. Rather, it's a boycott that is clearly coordinated, and the road show is officially over. When it comes to the home attendance of 17,274, it wasn't just average fans leaving a league that many believe has not only mistreated Clark, but also taken her for granted. As one commenter stated, the WNBA wants Caitlin's value, but doesn't value her. A rising tide lifts all boats, so you jump on that boat and use them to elevate your play. You can see this in the numbers games that start at 2.6. Millions of Clark viewers are now having trouble surpassing 1.2 million when she's not there. Let's look at these two games. CBS, Chicago Sky NBA TV Washington Mystics versus Atlanta Dream NBA TV, 591,000 facing up against the NBA playoffs. Which isn't a dip, but rather a collapse. A 50% loss in ratings in a short period of time of days. These two, I believe the number 7 will be circling the 1.25 number 1. When you build a house on one pillar and that pillar is damaged, the following happens. 5 number 50% drop off. What's worse is that insiders now think this is just the Clark's daily situation is uncertain, and if she misses the Commissioner's Cup in the All-Star game, the viewership figures could drop even more. Networks are already concerned, and sponsors are speculating as to why, as Clark is the economy. One analyst recently disclosed that she drives more than 26.5% of the whole unbaffened seal activity. Ticket sales, item sales, TV deals, and her appearance. She is the person who is in charge of 26. She's not just the WNBA's face. She's its economic engine, accounting for 5 of all WNBA economic activity last season, including earnings from goods, ticket sales, and broadcasting. Even a reputable financial expert predicted that if Clark continues to grow through the upcoming season, her economic impact could surpass $1 billion. According to Brewer's analysis, Clark simply keeps up her current momentum through an expanded 2025 season. Her impact on the WNBA's economy could reach $875 million. Additionally, when the engine stops, the entire vehicle slows down. Brewer believes that number could surpass $1 billion due to mod's growth and ongoing fan interest. But that billion-dollar asset has endured cruel fouls, non-calls, and injuries. And the league ignores it and continues to schedule her in every national broadcast. What the WNBA overlooked was that Caitlin Clark sells more than just tickets. I'm not sure if she's dealing with this because fans have faith that the young white girl will show up, okay? Elevate the game and give them a reason to care. However, when she gets hurt, the league acts like it's no big deal, no one is protecting her, and her health seems like an afterthought. As a result, I'm not sure if she's dealing with due to the high number of injuries. If that preseason game wasn't in Iowa, fans take it personally and walk away when they feel disrespected. This is exactly what's happening at the moment with resellers pulling out, broadcasters modifying their coverage plans, cities reassessing how much to spend on future Fever matchups, and fans who are attending record-breaking numbers are now ignoring all of this, which was not caused by a single injury, but rather by the way the league handled it with tact, silence and a total lack of urgency. The fans' message is very clear: protect your star at all costs. When Caitlin Clark first entered the WNBA, you had to protect her. Not only did she deliver fans, but she also brought hope, a future, and attention to a league that had been in obscurity for decades. Suddenly, everyone was taking notice, but the WNBA's leadership chose to use her, overexpose her, and try to act as though she was a generational star instead of protecting her. The WNBA got its first real superstar with national appeal under her watch, but what has she done with it? She talks about expanding the league and improving the women's game. As usual, the blame begins at the top with Commissioner Cathy Engelberg. After all, she is the best. You can't trade her. Cathy Engelberg leaned all the way in, making Caitlin the face. But every move has screamed exploitation. National TV game after national TV game, a relentless travel schedule, back-to-back matches with little rest. And now we're seeing the result. The league's most valuable player is physically broken. And no one in charge seems to care of the league. And then sold her to the Wolves, whether it's because officials permit too much contact or schedule her like a machine. The pattern is obvious: profit first, player second, and fans have noticed that even seasoned commentators are speaking out. Before Caitlin Clark arrived, Debbie Antonelli was the play-by-play voice for women's basketball analysis. Debbie has been criticizing the league's officiating for more than 25 years, stating that Clark has been getting a lot of abuse. She even implied that referees are allowing too much because they aren't enforcing boundaries, and that Caitlin has received her fair share of slaps at this point. There is a line. If the referees don't manage it, players will cross it. She is also at the top of the scouting report. So if you want to win the game, you should limit what she can do. You can take away her vision and be physically close to her when she's off the ball line. You guys know you're going to try to do whatever you can to get away with as much as you can until it's called out. And that means the whistle has to blow. From Indiana's perspective, she's been subjected to a lot of criticism. And I believe there has been too much talk about it. I also believe it needs to be cleaned up. And when officials remain silent, players cross the line. And that's exactly what's happening. This isn't about tough defense. Rather, it's about putting a target on one player's back. And the league's inaction has permitted, if not encouraged, it. It has been happening to Caitlin Clark all season long. Cheap shots, hard fouls, contact after the whistle, all without any repercussions. At one point, protecting your star was the top priority in any successful sports league. Austin was the one selling the tickets and merchandise. Take the NBA with LeBron, the NFL with Mahomes, and even WWE, which made it obvious that the moneymaker gets protected. However, in this case, the WNBA allowed Clark to be injured on the court and then overworked off it. And now that she is hurt, Cathy Engelberg has the audacity to keep saying the same things. The hypocrisy is astounding, and fans aren't buying it, as she is out here discussing not relying too much on one player rather than addressing the officiating crisis. Clark is in charge of more than 25% of your league's total revenue. And cities are breaking attendance records because of her. Viewership also doubles or halves, depending only on whether she plays. You all already know who the needle mover Caitlin Clark is. So in 2024, she averaged 16, according to NBA reports. She will be one of the first celebrities to earn $1 million a year. 5 assists and 5 points per game. She grabbed 5 rebounds and made 37% of her field goals, 8% from 3. If you look at her 2025 preseason, she only played 2 games, one of which was against the Brazilian national team. She averaged 14 minutes per game and played 21 minutes. She shot 52 with 5 points, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds. 50% from three-point range and 5% from the field. Their either are not only upset that their favorite player is hurt, but they also feel deceived, because for months, the league portrayed Clark as its savior. She was the focus of the All-Star campaign, the Commissioner's Cup, the merchandise sales, and the media circuit. But when she was hurt, when she needed help, the silence was deafening. No accountability and no plan to address the situation, because fans want answers, action, and most importantly, accountability. Independent voices online, YouTubers, podcasters, and grassroots analysts have stepped in to tell the truth. The media, on the other hand, only a few dared to challenge the narrative and have only provided evasive updates and PR jargon, been complaining. But Kat and Yul won't listen. They're not abandoning Caitlyn. Rather, they're abandoning a league that didn't defend her, executives who treated her more like a marketing machine than a 22-year-old human being bearing the weight of an entire sport, and officials who turned a blind eye as she was knocked to the ground game after game in this book. Caitlyn Clark is far more significant to the WNBA than Tiger Woods was to men's golf. We've never seen anything like that before. You want to know why fans are boycotting, why ticket prices are plummeting, why TV partners are anxious, why are sponsors hesitating? The WNBA's greatest moment ever is because it has demonstrated to them that even the biggest star is vulnerable, and that even when you break records, earn millions of dollars, and give your all to the league, when you get hurt, you'll just move on without blinking. However, fans aren't turning their backs. They're watching and demanding better treatment, not just for Caitlyn, but for every player who deserves their. This could have marked the beginning of a new era. But instead, it's turning into a warning of what happens when a league forgets that its future depends on how it treats its best players. They have complained about not being treated like NBA players. And now you are the WNBA, a league that values talent, protects its stars, and stops pretending that this level of WF mismanagement is acceptable. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity with Caitlyn Clark, and they're blowing it. Without her, the league would be on life support, and fans aren't upset because she's hurt. Rather, they're upset because no one shielded her. Okay, now, the league that used her face to sell out arenas is watching those seats empty as soon as she's not there. This isn't just a drop in ratings. It's a crisis, Caitlyn. They went above and beyond to watch her play here. Just fantastic news for women's basketball in general. She signed my jersey, and I'm so happy that I'm crying in that sense. She was making a big deal out of it. She is the league's face, and everyone agrees that she has nothing but wonderful things to say about herself. She is so hospitable and warm that she can talk to anyone. In that sense, Midwesterners like me tend to just hit as a crazy situation when it comes to Caitlyn Clark, because it is obvious that she is much stronger and that unless things change, it will only get worse. If you think she deserves better, hit that. She was so kind to my family and everyone in the suite when she came to KC. I am a huge fan of Caitlyn Clark. Like button, leave a comment, and make sure they hear it clearly. You must either defend your stars or risk losing your fans forever.